Hello, you're most welcome, everyone. How are you? How are you? Today, we are going to draft a dress. I'll not sew it, my machine is not here, but we are going to do the drafting. I'll sew it later. So, how is everyone doing today? How is life? How have you been? Oh my God, something fell. I'm trying to stabilize my camera. So, how have you been, guys? I've missed you. I've missed you. I've been there missing you and saying, oh, when will I go back to the live? Today, let's use red. Yeah. Okay. So let me get everything ready that I need and we can start. Please join, guys. Join the live. Join the live. Okay. So how is everyone doing? You can say hi to me. How are you? How is life? Yes, we are going to do a pattern drafting. I'm doing this as a trial. You know me, when I see a design, I think of how it was made. So I saw a particular design. I cannot show you the picture now, but I'll upload it and compare. Did it come out as I expected? Yeah. So let's start our pattern drafting. We are going to start with a back pattern. Okay. So let's start. So as usual, we draw the starting line. This is our starting point. And then I'll take away 2 inches for the zipper allowance. So this is the back. All right. So this is our shoulder line now. We are going to take shoulder to bust. Mine is 10. You use your measurements. Shoulder to under bust. Mine is 13. Shoulder to back. My shoulder to waist. My back shoulder to waist is 14. The front is 16. The back is 14. My hip is 25. Okay. Those are the vertical measurements. All right, so 10, 14, I'll not mark the under bust in the back, and 25. So I'm going to rule out these lines. Right now we are making the back. Okay. So we are going to put in our neckline. Okay. So in the back, I'll use a neckline of Maybe I'll improve it later. Let me take 3 by 1.5. Okay. So I'm going to take my shoulder, divide by 2, which is 7.5, and come as well on this line and take shoulder, divide by 2, which is 7.5. I'll come up by 2 inches and make a shoulder slope and make a chest line. You can use your bust measurement, divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. It still works well. Okay, the measurements might not be equal, but it still works as well. All right, so I come down here by 1 inch and make a shoulder slope, then connect these points together. All right, so now we are going to make our back arm hole. So to make our back arm hole, I'll bring from here to here and then divide by 2. After dividing by 2, I'll measure my waist. Wait, I'm going to come back later. So I'm going to come here on my waist. This is my bust line. This is my waistline. So I'm going to come in on my waist by 1 inch. Okay. And connect back to the neckline. So now when I'm taking my chest line measurement, I'm going to use my bust divide by 4. So my bust divide by 4 is 9.5 plus 1 inch for sewing allowance, which is 10.5. Okay, so I'll have it here. I'm measuring from this point. So I'm going to take my bust measurement, divide by 4 as well, plus 1 inch. I'll also measure it from this point. So from this point as well, I'm going to measure my waist, divide by 4. Okay. So depending if you want that in the back, if you don't want it, just put your waist, divide by 4. If you want that in the back, you can put 1 inch for the data allowance. So I'll make it without that. So I'm going to use 8.5. Okay. So I'm going to connect this point to this point. All right. So you have to make sure you have your bust divide by 4 here, plus 1 inch sewing allowance, bust divide by 4 plus 1 inch sewing allowance, then waist divide by 4, we add also 1 inch sewing allowance. Okay, so now I'm going to connect this back here. So here I'm going to take my hip measurement, divide by 4 plus 1 inch. Okay, hip divide by 4 is 11.25 plus 1 inch, which makes it 12.25. Right, so I'm going to connect the points together. All right, so from here I'll just take, you can make it an A-line shape or straight, but do not curve in, just a line, or you can take it straight to down. It depends on what you want. Okay, so I'm going to put my zipper allowance. I did not put that here, so it's your choice. You can put a 1 inch dart on the waistline. That's up to you. Okay. Hi Shaima, how are you? How is life? Thank you for watching. So we are going to add sewing allowance. Okay, So I'm going to add sewing allowance of 1 inch on all the lines. So I'll come on the waistline and add sewing allowance. Remember, this is our new line now, so our sewing allowance will now fall on this first line. Okay, then I'm going to go down and add 1 inch as well. Also here 1 inch. Okay, so now I'll just join the points together. All right, so we are done almost with the back pattern, but to avoid zipper bulging on my back, I'm going to reduce here by 1 inch on the waist. So I'll go 0.5 down and 0.5 up of the waistline and down of the waistline. So after doing that, I'm going to connect these lines back here like this, and connect this as well back here. So after doing this, I'm going to cut my pattern and then connect it back. So when you see this pattern, all sewing allowance included. You don't need to add sewing allowance when you're cutting. You don't split. All right. So this is it. We are going to cover this dot like this. Okay, so now this is our back pattern. This is our zipper allowance. Okay, and the same as it's the zipper allowance and the sewing allowance in the back. So I'm going to cut so if you can put as 0.5 sewing allowance in your armhole, but I don't put in mine. I don't put sewing allowance in the armhole, but you can do that. You can put, I put here 0.5 sewing allowance to join in the shoulder line. Okay, so that's completely up to you. Okay, our back pattern is done. So we are going to do the front. I'll extend the length a bit more than this. Hi dear, how are you? I don't know the name. I cannot read it, but how are you doing? How is life? So I need, for the front pattern, I need a full front and back. So I'm going to fold. I'm trying something here. All right. So I'm going to fold this into two. I'm going to cut the front pattern and fold. Okay. I hope the length is the same. Okay. So we are going to cut the front and fold. All right. So let's start. We are starting with our beginning point as we did in the first place. So we mark our shoulder line. So this is now the shoulder line. Okay. So we are going to measure our bust line and the bust. You can as well just bring this. You can bring this, place it here like this, and just mark the points using this. Okay. I hope it's accurate. I don't mark the waist because the front waist and the back waist are different. Okay. So I think I need to measure. I think I need to measure. Oh my God. So, okay, so this is our bust line. We are taking our under bust. My front waist is 16. My hip is 25. I'll do the same on this side. 10, 13, 16, 25. Okay, so I'm going to mark the lines. Bust line, under bust, waistline, hip line. Okay, so I will mark it. The mark is starting to misbehave. This is bust line, under bust, waistline, hip line. The rest is the length of the dress. So we are going to put in our neckline. Neckline, we use 3 in the back. We shall use 3 as well. So down, I'll use 3 as well. 3 is the standard, but it does not mean that it fits everyone. Okay, it's just the standard. It fits most people, but not everyone. So we are going to come here and mark our shoulder line, divide by 2. I'll come here as well and mark shoulder line, divide by 2. Come up by 2 inches as I did in the back. Okay, so I'll make a slope, chest line there. So this is the chest line. So I'm going to come down by 1 inch and make a shoulder slope here. Also connect my neckline here. All right, make this line, divide this line by 2, mark the center, go in by 0.5 inches. Okay, I'll pause that here. Then I'm going to come on the bust line and take my nipple to nipple measurement, divide by 2. So my nipple to nipple measurement is 7 inches. 7 divided by 2 is 3.5. So I'm taking 3.5 on the bust line, on the under bust line, on the waistline. I'll not take it on the hip line. Okay, so 3 points. I'll stop here. Right? Okay, let me take it on the hip line actually. But I'm going to split the pattern. So you can choose to put it or not to put it. We shall see. All right, so we are going to come on my waistline, and I'll take a dart of 2 inches. 2 inches. You can as well take 1.5, but let me take 2. Okay, so I'm going to take 2 inches, 1 inch on the side and 1 inch on the side. So I'll come down on the bust line by 1 inch and connect this dart and come here on the hip line. I really don't need this down, but let me just put it. So I'll connect the dart. I've come up on the hip line by 2 inches. So let's connect this dart like this. Okay. So you can do under bust tightening. You can leave it depending on how free you want your dress to be. You can do under bust tightening. You may leave it. So let's leave it in this case, okay? So I'm going to come and measure my bust divide by 4 plus 1 inch. Bust divide by 4, 9.5 plus 1 inch, 10.5. The same measurement of the bust divide by 4 is what I put on the chest line. So I come on the hip, on the waistline, and put a waist divide by 4 plus 2 inches. These 2 inches are for this dart plus the dart, the 1 inch for Songala. So here we have 8.5 plus 2, 10.5 plus 1 inch, 11.5. Okay, so we come on the hip line and take our hip divide by 4 plus 1 inch, that is 12.25. Okay, so now we are going to connect. Let's connect like this. We come down and connect as well. So to do your under bust tightening, if you want to do it, in case you want to do it, what you do, you're going to come and measure here on your under bust. On my under bust, I have 11 point something something. So you measure your dart as well. It is 0.75. So you'd say 11 point, it was 11.25. Okay, minus this dart, which is 0.75. What's the difference? We get 10 point. Really? Huh? 11.25 minus 0.75. Let's first take away this 2.5. It means we have 0.5. Okay, so 0.5 minus 11, it's 10.5. Okay, so when you measure here, you have 11 point what? Okay, so now what we are going to do, from 10.5, you're going to take away your under bust divide by 4. So my under bust divide by 4 is 8.5. Is it 8.5? Really? I think it's 8. So under bust divide by 4, I think mine is 8. Okay, mine is 8. So 8 minus 10 minus 8.5, I have 1.5. So you divide this 1.5 by 2, you get 0.75. So this 0.75, you put the 0.75 on one side and the 0.75 on one side, and you connect back to the what? To the waist. Okay, so that's called under bust tightening. All right, So underbust tightening is you measure this line, you take away the dots, whatever you have on your underbust, divide by 4. You divide it, you subtract it from what you have here, and the remainder you divide it by 2 and put the what you got here and what you got here. Okay, I hope you have understood. So I'll just come here. I want this to be connecting. Give me a minute. Okay, so I'm just going to take this straight down in an A shape. Okay, so another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take my underbust dart. My underbust dart is 2 inches. To get the underbust dart, you get the difference between your front waist and your back waistline. So mine is 2 inches, so I'll take 2 inches. This is it. So this is a dart, and this is a dart as well. Okay, so I'm going to cut. This is my front pattern, but I'm still making it. It's not done. Sewing allowance included. You don't need to cut sewing allowance when you're cutting. When I reach here, I will do like this. Wait a minute. Forgot something. Forgot to join this. You connect this one to this one to this one. So you don't forget, please. It's easy to forget. All right. So I was cutting, so I'm going to continue from here. I told you if you want to add sewing allowance in the armhole. If you don't want, don't add. I usually don't add for me, so you can add if you want. 0.5 is enough. Okay, I'll put this away. So I need a tracing tool, excuse me. I'll first trace out these dots, though I'm going to cut them. Okay, let me just cut them. So it's like you overlap this. You see, when you overlap, it gives shape here. Okay, you get shape here. So we are going to overlap this. But before I do that, I'm going to make this line straight to down. And I think this will work better. Let me divide this by 2. To get the center point of this, you can divide this by 2 or you can leave it. It's not compulsory. Okay, it's not a must that you have to divide it. Okay, so I've divided this by 2. I just want to get flexibility when cutting here my pattern. Okay, so what I'm going to do is to split here and close these dots. All right, that's why I said it's tracing is important. Okay, tracing is important. So the other side is not marked. I have to make sure I can see where I'm going to close my dart from. All right, so I'm going to open up. Okay, this is the major part. So let me also trace out my waist. All right, so we are going to open up our pattern paper, and then we are going to close this dart. So when you close here you will have a shoulder dart. So I'm going to close here. Don't completely split. So I'm going to come and close here like this. So I can see the marked line. You might not see it, but this is the line. That's why I traced. So I'll close. So splitting the upper part gives you room to close this dart. Okay, so it's important you split. I wanted to split down, but it could not work for me, so I decided to split up. You can split down as well on the hip line, and you still get the same thing. So here as well, I'm going to cover this line here and close it. Oh my goodness. So after doing this, I'm going to cut here. I'm going to cut the waistline, but before I do that, I have to cut off some piece. So when you bring this here, it has to align together. Okay, you can see it's in alignment. I'm going to connect back this line to the chest line. So I'll do this. After doing this, I'm going to cut off the excess here. All right. So now I'm going to split one side of the pattern from the waistline. Okay. There is a dart here. There is a dart here, so I'm going to trace that dart out so that it appears on the other line. Most especially the upper part. The down part you might leave the dart because I don't need the dart down. But either way, let's make it. Let's do the dart also down. Okay, it's not so accurate, but it's not so accurate. Okay, so as I said, I'm going to split one part of the waist. So I'm going to open up this side of my waist. So we shall close this dart, but not now. So I'm going to cut here. You can take this as a whole because you are going to pleat one side, okay? So you can leave it or you can take it, whatever you want. Even this dart here does not matter because you are going to pleat this part. So I'll take this part away and continue with this part. Okay, so I'll cut out let me leave that. So I'm going to get an extra piece of paper, put it down. I want to expand this. Okay. So from this point, this was my, from this point, this one where the dart was, I'm going to spread I'm going to spread so I'm going to take the point from the right in the not here, this bust line. I'll take this point from the bust line and I'll also take this point. Let's see how many inches we have here from the bust line to the waist. It is shortened, so we have something like, so I'm going to go below the waistline, like, let's take 3 inches. Okay, let's take 3.5 inches. Okay, so I'm going to splash and spread. Okay, forgive me, the lines are not that straight. Let me also put this to be like this. I'm eliminating this one. Okay, I'm not going to split so much. So we are running these lines, but they are coming towards the dart. So I'm going to cut like this. I don't want to increase volume on this side. I want to increase it in the center. All right, so I'm going to spread this. Don't spread so much. Yeah, don't spread so much. Spread reasonable words, reasonable sizes. All right, so that's how much I'm going to spread. And so I'm going to come here and make why I make this. These are pleating points, the points I'm going to use to pleat. Okay. All right. So I'll come here as well. Oh my God, I've spoiled everything. However, I want to extend this. I want to extend. Okay. Let me just make it like this. All right. So I'm going to get my this and fix it on this so I see where my pattern passes. Okay. Okay. So after this, I'm going to cut off. Wait, I need to fix this as well. There is a dot here. Okay? There is a dot. You can cut it and put a sewing allowance in, or you can leave it like this. So you have to mark that there is a dot. All right. So now I'm going to cut this. When I'm cutting from here, I will add a little bit of volume. I'm going to add some volume. You don't need to measure. A little bit, not so much, but a little bit, because here we are going to join to the other part. So I need it to fold in inside a little bit. So you might not measure. It's not important that you measure. So you might take this as long as you want, but not so long. I'm going to add something here. Or when I'm cutting the fabric, I'll add. So this is our front pattern. we are going to add this, split it into different, I don't know how to say it. I'm going to split this, okay, and make it add volume. So it's like I'm going to multiply, maybe multiply this by 2 or whatever you want to multiply it with, but it's not good to exceed 2.5. You can multiply this by 2 or 2.5. So you get your waist and multiply by 2. So whatever you have, let's say my waist is 14. You multiply by 2 is 28. Then whatever you have is what you use here, and you have to pleat it so that when you put it here, after removing the dots, it fits, okay? It has to fit in here because this is going to be like this. Hey. My God, I forgot something. Hey. So, wait a minute. Wait. There is something I need to. This is my hip line. Okay. This is my hip line. So there is this missing part. How do you feel this? Can you imagine? How do you feel this? Okay. So what we are going to do, we are going to cut this from here. We are going to cut it long to the length of the dress. Yeah. Trying out a new pattern is not easy also. It's a bit challenging, but what we are going to do, this has to join here and the length has to connect back here, okay? So this has to go like this, and this has to fold in a bit, okay? But the length, we shall add the length. All right. I'm also anxious to see how it comes out. So we are now going to cut. Okay. So we are going to cut. Let's see. See, don't play with me. You're on my side. All right, so we start with the what, front or back? Let's start with the front. I told you I'm trying this design. I don't know how it will come out, but I trust myself. I trust myself. So I said, since this is the volume is what, and it's joined by belt, it doesn't really matter. So let's cut out. You don't play with me. All right. So I'm going to start with this. Okay. Let me start with the back, because I need 2 pieces for it, and I'm going to determine the length of the dress I want. So I'm going to take 42 inches. I think it will be enough. 42 inches. 2 inches might be so long, but anyways, let's take 40 exactly 40. So I'll take 40 from here. Okay, so this is the point. Excuse me, I'm looking for the pins. Where did I put the pins? Okay, they are here.
Yes.
What? What you want? Okay. I've misaligned something. I don't usually cut like this, but since my cutting space is small, I sometimes do this. No sewing allowance already included. Okay, back done. So now we are going to the front. So to cut the front, I need to open it up. Okay. We have to cut off this. I need to know how much I took from the center. So 2 inches. So I'll redo this pattern sometime. Let me first see how it comes out, because 4.5. Okay, so I'm leaving allowance here for the tie, this one that I'm going to tie. So that's why I'm leaving allowance in the front. So now I'm going to pin we added some length, so I'm going to cut. I don't know how much we added, but if you're using fabric, please measure, because fabric is expensive. You just cut like that. Hey. So if you're using fabric, measure how much you added and include it down. But since I'm using plastic bag, I'll not measure. So when you're cutting here, add a little bit of sewing allowance. Or you can get a tracing wheel as well and know where to join from. As I've said, add some sewing allowance in between. If you don't add, it will become tight or it might not fit. Now what's important to mark is the sewing allowance. This one, there's, what is it called, the dart. Yeah, you have to mark out this dart and this dart as well. Okay. Now what I did, I extended this. What I'm going to do, push. So you come from this side as you deep freeze. Okay. So make sure you cut another piece like this and you join it together so that this can be like two pieces joined together, to be strong, builds are strong. So
What?
huh?
What?
Yeah. So I'm going to measure this length and measure on my back and see what I have is what I'll use. So for my back, I have 32. So I'm going to use 32 as well here. So I'll come and measure 32 inches. Okay. So 32 is right here. Where is my scissor? Good. Somewhere here. Okay. So now, to get what I put, the part I put down, to get the part I'm going to put on this line, I have to add this length up to here, which is 20 inches, plus I measured all this was 4.5 inches. So I'm going to use 24.5 or 25 roughly, 25 inches, the length of this, because at the end of the day, this will be gathered and it has to come back to the original inches of the dress. So I'm going to use 25 inches for the length going down, okay? So I'm going to cut another which is 24 inches, 24.5 inches or 25, and I'll make, this is what, let's take 14 inches times 2, which is 28. I'm going to measure this up to here, which is 14 times 2, which is 28. So it's going to be 28 by 25, okay? So 28 by 25. So this will not be enough. I'll just fold it up and get another piece to measure what I need. So that part is going to be pleated or gathered. So to get pleats, you multiply by 3, but I'm not going to use pleats. I'll use gathers for it not to waste so much fabric. So this bag is on fold. It's on fold. So we said we are going 24 inches down and 24 inches down and 25 inches down and 28. So it's on fold. I'm going to take 25, which is here. Let's take 26, maybe. We need sewing allowance, all that. So 26. If it's excess, we shall cut it. And then we said 28 inches. So I'm going to get 28 divided by 2 is 14. So this is on fold. Okay. So I'm going to take 14 as well here. So as I told you, remember this is on fold. On fold. All right, so this is the piece we need. I'm not so accurate in the cutting. And now let's see how we are going to arrange our dress. Okay, I'm not going to sew now, but I'm just showing you how it is going to be arranged. Okay. So this is going to connect here like this. I'll remove the things. and we shall get a clear picture. Oh my God. So this is how this dress is supposed to be arranged. So this is supposed to connect here like this. Okay. And this is supposed to connect here. So there is pleats here. This part is pleated. So before you do anything, you finish this part, at least the upper part, and you join the down part. Okay. So this has to be here. This will come and overlap over this. Okay. And this as well will be like this. All right. So you put on your back part, and also you have to sew these pleats. This, what are they called? That's not pleats. Yeah. So you have to sew in this dart as well. Okay. All right. So this closes here, and this closes here, and there is a dart here, and you close. I'll sew this dress and you will see how it came out. Yeah. And I'll show you the original dress I was trying to recreate. Yeah. So I'm going to fold in everything. If you're cutting this, cut 2 pieces. So we are done with today's live. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Subscribe, hit the notification bell. I come live every other day. When I get the time, I come live. So when I come live, YouTube notifies you. So if you don't want to miss out, please subscribe. My goodness. So I'll not throw away this pattern. I usually throw away the patterns because I love pattern making. I love it. And doing something again is mastering it. So I usually throw them away. If you want to do it again, I do it again. So I'll keep it until I finish sewing the dress. Sometimes you want to sew, but you don't really remember how the pattern was. So I'll keep this, and I'll throw it when I finish doing the dress. Okay. So thank you everyone who has watched this live. I love you so much. Thank you for always coming to watch these videos. You can check out other videos on my channel. My channel has like 300 something videos. I have videos about patterns, about a lot of things, most especially pattern making. So please check them out. I want to do something before I leave here. I don't know the time, but let me check. And I dyed the dress yesterday, so I want to check out the the dye came out very well. Want to check out something here. Yesterday I dyed a dress. Oh my god. I'm going to rinse it with some soap and water, then dry it. Oh my god. I'll take this away. I'm just checking. I did this as well. Yeah, I was trying to marble. Oh my god, it's not so good, but anyway, I'm a beginner. Okay, I'm stopping the live here. Yeah, I'm going to finish up with rinsing. So yeah, have a good day. I love you so much. Bye bye.